Hello again, thanks for clicking on the video and welcome to part 3 in a series where we're doing at-home bicycle maintenance on the cheap with tools you already have most likely at home laying around the garage. So if this kind of thing interests you, just stay tuned. Today we are going to talk about pedal maintenance. So here's the things that you're going to need. Grease, which I picked this up at Canadian Tire. I use this grease a lot. And for pedals, what we're looking at today, this grease is perfect. A number 15 box wrench and a piece of paper towel. That is literally all you need to do pedals. Okay, so removing your pedal, we're going to start with, and only do today, the drive side pedal. So on the drive side, a pedal is removed counterclockwise. On the non-drive side, the pedal is removed clockwise. Buddy, if you want to remove the drive side pedal, sometimes you need a mallet to kind of edge out the threads, kind of break the threads loose. And then once you get them loose, that's all you need the mallet for. Now pedal the bike. Now you're going to pedal the bike normally. Keep the wrench in the pedal, and eventually the pedal will come out. There we go. So we have the pedal out, and that's what the paper towel is for. So hold the pedal here by the pedal axle here, and then just kind of clean the threads on the pedal, and then you take the paper towel and clean inside the threads on the crank. Yeah, you want to get in there and clean it out as best as possible. That's good. Now, take the pedal, take the grease that I had mentioned, and you put some grease on the pedal threads. A little bit of grease here goes a long way. You don't want to cake the pedal threads in grease. That's literally all the grease you need. And now, to replace the pedal back onto the crank, what you do is you hold this part where the wrench would go on, and you thread it in clockwise. Now when you get the pedal started on the thread, it is imperative that you do not cross thread the pedal onto the crank. Because if you do, that is one of the more costly and most common mistakes that people make when taking the pedals off and putting them back on. If you cross thread this, then you damage the threads in the crank, which means that you need a new crank. So that's a very costly mistake. So take your time on this, and make sure you remember on the drive side, and when I say drive side, that means the side that the chain is on and all the drivetrain system. The pedal threads on clockwise. It threads off counterclockwise. Okay, so now, Owen, if you want to put the wrench in there, and you're going to pedal the opposite way that you took the pedal off with. Good job, buddy. Keep going. Now, once you get it to that point where it's tight and it won't go any farther, then what you want to do is put the pedal in a spot where you can have leverage. Put the wrench on there, And while you hold the crank steady, you apply pressure to the wrench, and that's it. The pedal is back on. Okay, so now we're over on the non-drive side. All right, bud, put the wrench on there and get your mallet.
Up?
Yep, and this pedal removes clockwise.
Did I get it?
Yeah. All right, so when the threads are broke loose again, you pedal forward to remove the pedal. The wrench on. No. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Now we're not going to remove this pedal completely because it's the same as the other side. But to replace this pedal, the pedal is counterclockwise to put back on. So clockwise to remove and counterclockwise to replace the non-drive side. So if you want to tighten that back down, you want to tighten that back down, buddy?
Sure.
So backwards, yep. Back pedal, yep. And then again, you go until it stops, and then get some leverage and crank it in. Yep, that side, push and pull. Done. That is literally all the time that it takes to take your pedals off, clean them, and put new grease on there, and put the pedals back on. And that took no time at all, eh, bud? No. And your pedals won't seize that way. Your pedals will last longer that way. And your bike will last you longer. So yeah, take the pedals off. Grease.
Bye.
So I hope you found this video on pedals informative and somewhat entertaining. As you know, wow, is this guy really serious? He's gonna take the pedals off and clean the threads and all that stuff. Probably the kind of guy that washes his tires when he washes his car. Well, yes, I am, and yes, I will take pedals off every bike that, not on my own bikes, but every bike that I see come into the shop. I take pedals off. You would be maybe surprised, maybe not so surprised when you go to take your own pedals off, how many times that those pedals will seize to those cranks, and no matter what you do, you cannot remove them. So basically, the pedals are on there for life once that happens, or then you got to take some drastic measures, which is never cheap. When you have to take drastic measures, I'm sure I don't need to tell you, it's never cheap, the outcome. So maintain the pedal threads. Take them off like 2 times a season. And I'm telling you, they'll never seize. And they just last so much longer, and they make your cranks last so much longer. So again, this is all about proper maintenance, taking care of what you have so that it'll take care of you. Stay tuned for the next one.